No, wait.
There it goes. All right. So we are back again. We got some more hero content. This is from a website. I don't know. This is like a German website. I'm sure there's other translations of it or something like that, but it's called forplayers.de. We put a link in the description for anybody that wants to look at these screenshots of the hero slash Erdrick. And we're going to go over some, I guess, theory crafting or speculation with regards to what we get to see here. So the first picture. Actually, before I get into that, I'm here with Hannibal and X2 Juice. They're both joining me to look at these pictures, and we're just going to have a little discussion about it. And yeah, I just want to jump into the first picture, which would be the hero. I guess I don't even know what this move would be. We kind of tried to discuss it a little bit before, but the move itself, it looks like a special, but he's doing it straight up, which we never saw in the trailer. So, if either of you guys want to jump in and I guess start theorizing a little bit of what you might think this is. So
So there are only a couple of things that I think are really interesting in this picture. One is that he's only at 8% damage, and he's already down to 41 MP, which is a drop of 59. So it seems like he's early in the stock, and that's a lot of MP to have used
that
with only
fast.
the lightning move that we see on screen. So it doesn't mean that necessarily that there's any big spenders, but there may be some big spending moves you can use.
You know what I was thinking too, now that you say that, it makes me think that there's a possibility that this move being as strong as it is what makes it shoot straight up. It is like a maybe like a Pikachu Thunderbolt or Pikachu Thunder or Pichu Thunder, but like it goes straight up versus coming down to his sword, right?
Yeah, that could be really interesting.
It's kind of weird because like it doesn't show the top platform. Well, it does show the platform itself, but it doesn't show above the platform. Because if this is just some move that goes all the way to the sky, kind of like a
It could
Palutena. Go ahead.
just be a startup band.
You're cutting out big time, unfortunately. So I don't know. I guess he'll have to come back or something. But another thing I wanted to say about this whole, we spoke about it a little bit before about how wide this thunder shock or thunder jolt is that's going to his sword, and I'm just curious as to how high up it goes. Like I said about like Palutena's up smash, or if it's like a Pichu or Pikachu thunder, because up until now, besides like those two moves, the highest reaching move besides those was like Simon's up smash, right? As far as
Yeah.
like standing on the ground stationary. I don't have no idea how fast this move is either. It's thunder or lightning, so it's probably pretty quick. Maybe has a decent amount of startup, but the move itself is probably pretty fast. One of the other things that you pointed out before, Hannibal, like before, is that he only has 8% on him, while everybody else, except for like Mario, has 25. They're all around mid percent. So maybe the reason why he has such low MP is because he does have some sort of healing spell, right? So
That's true. That's true. And we know from some other screenshots that he probably has some kind of heal. So that's not outside the realm of possibility, and it's very, very common in Dragon Quest. Like all of the main characters have some sort of heal in their kit. So that's something to keep in mind.
in those games, though, when they use their heal, is it a lot of MP when they use it, or is it just like a small heal that brings back a bit of health?
So I mean, obviously it depends on the spell you're using, but it's usually going to be a smaller heal. It's not like can be a dedicated healer archetype or anything like that, but it's good enough to be there if you need it.
Okay, understandable. Because yeah, like let's say even if he was at like 40, or maybe not 40, maybe like 35 or something like that, that'd still be a pretty decent amount. If he healed like 20, what 7%? That'd be a really weird number. Maybe a heal like 25, but that's still a lot. In Smash, that's a lot unless he's used it a couple times. But yeah,
Yeah.
if he has a heal that's that strong, it's got to be worth a lot of MP. Because even 25, that's a lot. Like that can take you out like from kill percent to like combo percent in some cases, right?
But multiple uses of it could explain why he's at 41 MP.
Yeah, that too? Because that's the thing is like we still don't know if there's a cooldown for these specials either. Right? There's a
Yeah,
possibility that
that's
you
true.
could spam them and use all your MP, or like run away and continue. Like it might have like cooldown as far as the move, but it doesn't have cooldown as far as having to regenerate something before you can use it again.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the thing
Don't
is
think
like,
there's
go ahead.
I was saying there don't think there's too much else about this specific screenshot that needs to be really dug into, but
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, we can move right along because there's quite a few of them here. There's this one. He's just used. It looks like forward tilt I had spoken about in the previous moveset analysis video. But in this one, the only thing that's like there really is to notice is that he's only used 7 MP. So it makes me think that he has the ability to use a smaller, weaker, maybe fast projectile like an Arc Thunder, or maybe like not like Mega Man's pellets, but like something that's very non-committal and very fast. But
yeah, I'm thinking that could definitely be it. It really tells us one of two things. We've already seen that most of his moves average somewhere between 14 and 20 MP, and like you said, it could be that he's got some kind of 7 MP weaker move or something like that. But it's also possible that that could imply some mana regen of some kind. I think that would be interesting.
because and that's the thing, we don't know how that works because when I was watching the trailer at for the first time and I saw him have like this bar for MP, I wasn't sure if like maybe you just get 1 bar per stock and then once it's gone, it's just gone, or if it regens from hitting people, if it regens over time, if you have to like charge it like maybe Inklings, Ink, what it's called, the backpack. I can't think what it's called right now. The ink tank, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So it's hard to say because, like, well, that's another thing too. Is like they're probably at the very beginning of the match. That's another thing because like everyone's on the platforms. Maybe the Inklings just wilding out, dropped right down, is just getting comboed. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
It's hard to say, but that's really the only thing that sticks out in this one is the fact that he has used his only 7 MP. And I've seen some other people talking like Discord and on Facebook and stuff like that saying they thought at the time that you could only probably use like 5 or 6 spells before you're entirely out of MP. But if there's things that do as little as 7, there might even be one that does 5. We don't know. But if it's that little, that you could potentially do between like 14 or even 20 spells before, even if there's no regen, right? 20 spells potentially, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at a lot of potential there for some really uninteractive gameplay, honestly.
Yeah. And I was kind of like looking at the trailer too, and I had mentioned that I thought he would be as fast as Pit on the ground because you do get to see a very little bit of his dash into a dash attack. And I'm like, okay, he's not slow. He's definitely not like a Robin or even like a Link slow, but he's definitely not like a Chrom or Roy fast either. So,
Yeah. He's definitely looking like he's got a bit more speed on him, like you said, than like your Lynx. In fact, I think that there were some data mine parameters. Now, of course, those are probably placeholders, but I feel like that they've got to be at least relatively close to what they're thinking he's going to be, and those placed him in like top 30 or so for speed in the air and on the ground,
okay.
and
Oh, wow.
that's not bad.
That's the thing that makes it kind of weird to me because if he has this many spells and potentially other projectiles that we haven't seen, I'm sure they're going to be fire based or electricity based or maybe even some sort of ice based projectile. I don't really know what that would be because like the only ice based projectile that we've seen ever is like the Ice Climbers ice cube or whatever it's called, the
Yeah,
iceberg.
that and PK
PK
Fruit.
freeze.
PK freeze. Yeah, I guess technically it has ice properties once it connects, right? But I
Yeah,
guess yeah, true enough. But I don't know. It's hard to say. It sucks to just say. It's hard to say all the time, but yeah.
Well, that's the fun part about speculation is that you're just trying to figure it out. So there's a balance that's probably struck, and you think that maybe Sakurai thinks that MP is enough of an impediment that having above average ground speed and airspeed
It's gonna
is okay.
counterbalance it
Yeah.
because that's the thing is like there's nobody. Also, I was gonna say there's nobody that is potentially as fast as him and has this many different projectile tools. Because like even
Yeah.
Pitt only has one, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So with his electricity and fire and potentially ice projectile, which we don't know, he could have a projectile that is for positioning and can kill off the side. He could have from the trailer it looked like the fire can set up for like a combo angle, so you can get like the I don't know what the fire spell is called, that into fair or nair or like raw back air, something like that. And then like the ice, if there is an ice projectile, that could even be something that just stuns, right? So you can get like free grabs or smash attacks. And he also has the snooze too, right? That puts people to
Yeah.
sleep. It is a projectile, it doesn't do any damage, but it'll allow for crazy setups, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm definitely hoping that. No, that's lot to look at, even though there are so very few things in this picture that we haven't really already seen.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say,
Wait,
oh, go ahead.
oh no, I just let you finish.
Um, I'm afraid that with him having so many things in his kit already, this is all speculation, so we don't know what the things are. But even from what we've seen, and if he is as fast as I think he is, do you think that he's already being set up to be that quote unquote toxic character that needs to be nerfed? I know we've never even played him before, but with everything, I guess on paper you could say he's going to be really good.
Hmm. I mean, you're looking at a lot of potential, and of
Yeah.
course, all of it depends on frame data, how fast these different tools are, how many he has access to in a given match or a given stock.
Hmm.
But you're just looking at potential, and we've seen with Shulk, for instance. I mean, theoretically, he's a top one character.
Yeah.
He's above and beyond the rest of the cast, but realistically, you're never going to get him above maybe fifth slot, fourth slot. That's the reason why there's only a few big Shulk mains out there, you know?
Hmm. That's gonna say because the potential is there, but at least so far, nobody on Earth has dedicated enough time to actually optimize him to the fullest of his potential. So the tools are there, but the skill, at least so far, is not. At least with like we'll say Shulk, with
Yeah,
Hero, we don't know how hard it's gonna be to do his stuff. It might not be as hard as we even think. Because some of the stuff might,
true,
like I
very
said, it
true.
might freeze him. Like there's a kamikaze move, there's a snooze, there's a crackle slash, which is like the when they actually get frozen into an iceberg or ice cube,
Yeah,
right? So there's potential that him being optimized is pretty. I don't want to say easy, but simple. It's like freeze your opponent, then just kill them. It
yep.
might just be that. It doesn't have to be crazy combos and jab blocks and footstools and everything else that makes a character more intricate for him to be optimized.
Yeah, that's very true. It's
Mm.
very true. But that's all going to be seen. Now, looking down at this next
Hmm.
screenshot, there's really not that much there to see other than looking at a couple new views of his home stage. You've got the Yggdrasil in the background, and then the slime, which is kind of the face of the Dragon Quest series.
Hmm.
It's one of the most basic enemies, which is why I find it so hilarious that it's almost the mascot of the series.
I find that to be strange, honestly, because, and maybe that's why, at least for us as a Western audience, maybe that's why a lot of us don't know about this game because they pushed that the slime as like you said the mascot more so than the Dragon Quest characters because before, and I hate to be that guy, before Smash or before people were even like theorizing on who's going to get in, I didn't know who Erdrick was. And it wasn't because he's not an iconic looking character. I had just never seen him. Right.
Absolutely. Yeah, I understand what you mean.
So I don't know. That's just me at least. But as far as anything else in this picture, I can't really say that there's anything that we haven't seen. Like maybe like the fire spell. It looks like it might be mid charged, something like that. Because the one that was
Yeah.
in the trailer was much smaller and then also much larger, where it touched the ground. Right.
Yeah, the two different times it was cast. No, definitely.
I think we will move on to the next one. Once again, like this is nothing too crazy. I think this is actually from the same match. Yeah, same match. All his characters in the same order. Yeah, same match. And he's just doing like an up smash, which we've seen before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what tells me this isn't a spell is that, like you said, this is from the same match,
Hmm.
apparently.
Yeah.
He's taken a good bit more damage, but the MP is exactly the same at that 84 mark, which is what he was at back when he used the fireball in the previous screenshot.
Hmm.
So it's definitely looking like the up smash, which, let's see. Yeah, I, not much else to say about that one.
Yeah. I think it's a straightforward. And the thing is, we don't know how much time has passed in this match because, like, I don't know, Fox is just getting juggled for whatever reason. But if there was regen, it's longer than however long this has been. So if let's say if it's been 5 seconds, he hasn't gotten even one MP in 5 seconds. So maybe it is
Yeah,
really slow, or maybe there isn't any at all. Who knows?
yeah, that's a good point.
The next one looks like, and that's the thing too, is we don't see stocks. So maybe this is a timed battle as well because he has 100 MP, and everybody at lower percent? Yeah, everyone is at lower percent except for Ridley. So maybe Ridley had died at this point and come back. Maybe this is everybody's died kind of close to the same time. Because we obviously know Fox and Peach don't have regen of any kind, so that's obvious.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like he's just doing maybe like his jab one or jab one or two. Pretty straightforward. But
Definitely, definitely.
I'm gonna skip down. There's a couple other pictures that are just like screenshots. But the one here, like we talked about, like the regen thing with him standing beside Cloud. And in this picture, that's Cloud's taunt, is it not? That's not him charging because he holds the sword
Yeah, I believe that's his
sideways.
taunt.
Yeah.
I believe that is his taunt.
So that makes me, I don't know. I can't necessarily say that the hero is now using his taunt because he could be doing, it could be a taunt or it could be regen because like he had said in the past that his color scheme or like this light greenish blue is very reminiscent of the regen in the actual Dragon Quest games.
It's also very reminiscent of region in Smash itself. I mean, whenever you see healing fields and things like that, it's always that kind of bluish green.
Does that happen when you eat food as well or fruit or anything off the ground?
Yes, I believe so.
I think it does. I'm not entirely sure. Someone in the comments will correct us if so. So I know there's like some sort of like sparkle or stars or anything. I don't know if it's like with the blue rings or swirls around it as well, but I know it has at least something, some sort of star or sparkle animation. So it's potential that this is a healing spell. We have no idea how much
Yeah.
it does though. But right here, this next picture, this is the one that I find to be the most interesting because at first I thought this was up air, and it looks kind of like Ken's up air, but his leg's even more straight up, which makes me think that you could get something like up tilt into up air. He could maybe do ladder combos on platforms, anything like that. Somebody in the Discord pointed out like I'm not sure, is he looking forwards or looking up? What would you say?
Now, it looks like he's looking sort of upward, but it's hard to tell really. But I don't know. It does kind of imply that it may be an upward sweep, but to me there are two things. It could be just, your flip kick up air. Diddy Kong has it.
Yeah.
Captain Falcon has it. A couple of the characters have it. Or it could be more of a snake forward air where it's a drop kick. There's Now that could be very interesting, and it would make sense. Snake's a zoner. Erdrick, or the hero, looks very much like a zoning type character in a lot of ways. So, that kind of forward air being shared would make a lot of sense.
And that's the thing is like in the original trailer, we had never seen fair, up air, or down air. Right?
Correct. Yeah.
So I don't know if you could say that this is down air. I don't know if there's a lot of things saying that he's going to do like it could be a spike, it could be fair. Because the thing is for the aerials that we have seen, like his back air is very much like Joker's back air. His nair is like Ike's nair. At least in the end, as far as the animation goes. It's really hard to say if this is a combo tool or if this is a gigantic spike. You know?
Yeah, it's really up in the air, but I'm hoping it's a combo tool. It seems like a much more interesting character, especially with the airspeed he has.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like it would be fun to be able to get some aerial combos off, but you know, there's potential either way.
Mm-hmm. And like, as you said before, like how he had like that kind of like a flip kick. There's a potential that he follows all the way through, like a ZSS or a Captain Falcon, like a backflip kick with his up air. Because when I first looked at it, because now I see that entirely happening now too. Because before it looked like Ken's up air, where he just does like a, like kind of like the splits in the air and just does like a kick straight up. But now, it's hard to say.
It really is.
And just based on where Incineroar is, like you said, it could be a drop kick, right? It's just a screenshot, so it's hard to say where this is going exactly.
For sure.
I'm gonna see on the next picture, just Banjo. We've gone through all the pictures. At least, yeah, everything else is just Banjo. Like I'll show you guys quickly, just if you want to see anything. There's a different alt for Banjo at the bottom there. He's pink. I think Kazooie's like a little bit lighter tone. He's got the yellow shorts on, but we could do he has yellow shorts anyways. Actually, I take it back. I was gonna say we can do an analysis on some of these pictures, but realistically, I don't think anything is different that we haven't seen. Like, that's why I was more so intrigued by the hero or Erdrick pictures, because they're showing things that we had never seen before, like the up air potentially, the regen. Where's the other one? Farther up. Well, all the MP stuff, but this one right here with the lightning bolt going straight up. I'm very interested to see, like, just because it is a picture, is it going to be a lightning bolt from the sky hitting his sword, which would be cool, or is it lightning from his sword going straight up so it could kill off the top while safely standing on the bottom like from the bottom of the stage, which is insane because it's not even a smash attack. It just happens. So there'd be no, unless there's like some sort of charge to it. And that's another thing too, is like kind of getting into the charges. Can you charge this less? So it just goes straight up super fast. It's very small. Maybe it doesn't have the same range, but it's just a super fast thunderbolt that goes straight up. So there's nowhere
that could be pretty interesting.
I was going to say there's really nowhere to hide. And that's why it's crazy, because like a combo potentially, I don't know if this is possible, but like it could be a combo like you could get up tilt, up tilt, up tilt, up air with them and then land on the second platform into this move and kill them off the top. Which is insane. And we're going to be labbing everything like crazy. Like the potential is insane.
I know we're going to spend a lot of time trying to figure out this character. I mean, you've got at least 12 different special moves that we know of.
And that's just so crazy because, oh man, we have never seen this. We've never seen that menu before. You were speaking a little bit before about that, like, what if you can cancel end lag with the menu or potentially be reverse with the menu, because we saw in the trailer, and I actually missed this, but you pointed it out, that you can use the menu in the air, right?
Yep.
So go ahead.
That's the interesting thing. That's a really great segue into some of the stuff that more on the analysis of that trailer, and something that I think a lot of people missed is that whenever he opens the menu, there's a very specific animation. It's kind of he puts his hand on his chin like he's thinking about what he's going to choose, and that gives some implications and lets us see a couple of things. One, like you said, we know that you can use the menu in the air because when he uses zoom after he gets knocked off stage, he goes into that menu animation, and I'm going to call it the menu animation going forward.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit easier to say. But so we know that that's the case, but I think something more interesting even than that is that when he uses the lightning move in the trailer that he charges up, when he uses the fireball in the beginning of the trailer that he starts charging up, neither of those things pull up the menu animation, which tells us one of two things. Either one, they're ways to cancel the menu animation entirely and just immediately do the move, which I don't know, to me seems unlikely because we see when he pulls up the menu that the animation actually starts before the menu pulls up.
Hmm.
So that, but there's still potential that you could snapcast things. Or two, it tells us that there are going to be spells in his kit, specials that don't involve the menu animation at all. And so that has some implications in and of itself.
I was just thinking as when you said that is when it comes to the menu, could you choose a spell and then it's now assigned to a particular move? So like let's say for example you can't custom assign. Obviously like, I don't think you could make the thunder like down B or neutral B or side B if you wanted to. It's like you choose the move and now that's what your side B is, right? So potentially once you've opened the menu, chosen your move, now let's say you went from fire to lightning for your side B or neutral B, I'm not sure what it would be, but now from now on, as long as you just use your neutral B, it'll always be lightning until you switch it.
Yeah,
There's potential for that.
that's it's definitely a very interesting thought. Very, very interesting. So yeah, that menu animation though is it's very, very interesting to think about.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say too, we were talking earlier about the potential of how you would bring the menu up because with Smash Ultimate being a newer, more I guess progressive game as far as their inputs or potential inputs. Before I was thinking maybe it'd be like Shield and B, like Inklings for filling up their ink tank. But now that we've seen that, or that you brought to my attention that he can do it in the air, you obviously can't do that because shielding in the air is air dodging, right?
Yep.
So it's just, I guess, as far as the menu and animation itself, as far as, I guess it's just debunked that that's a potential thing as far as using the shield. So it makes me think,
Yeah.
how do you even bring up the menu? Because the down, at least to me, his down B, like in the trailer, is like when he turned himself into metal as one of them, right?
Yeah.
What was the other one that he did? Oh, the reflector, right?
Yeah, he did bounce, which is the reflector, and that is a menu animation move. You've got snooze, which is also a menu move, obviously, and then that clang, which it seems like it's also a menu move, but we never actually see the menu animations. So I guess the jury's still out on that one. But I don't know. I personally, I'm thinking that he may have a set of 2 or 3 specials. You know, you have your side B, your up B, your neutral B, and those are all normal,
Mm-hmm.
air quotes, of course. But and then maybe down B is the menu that pulls up, and you can use a specific subset of abilities. But I don't know. He could also just have all of them having a menu, and he has 16 specials, and
That's
you can
crazy.
snapcast. But I don't know. That sounds kind of nutty to try and go through in an actual match. Like, how do you feel about trying to go through 16 different spells in one match?
That's the thing that makes it crazy. I was gonna say on that note that what if his down B is how you bring up the menu. Once you choose something though, you have to now use it with down B. So you can't bring up the menu again until you've used it. I kind of hope that's not what happens because you might change your mind on what you want
Yeah,
to do,
yeah.
right? So if that is the case, then that's going to be, in my opinion, awful because it's like, all right, you chose something and now, like, let's say, for example, you chose reflect and it's like, I didn't mean to use that, right? So now you just,
Yeah.
let's say you're fighting a character like Marth or someone who has, like Captain Falcon, something like that, who has no projectile anyways, so it's potentially pointless. So I really hope that that's not how it is, but there's also potential for it to be like that. And then the flip side of things, sorry, just to continue on, is I noticed that you said that he used the menu in the air to use zoom, right?
Yes.
What if, and please, please don't let this be the case, what if you have to open the menu every time you want to recover? So you have to now switch between things while you're falling to your death. Because
That could be.
that's not it's not impossible because technically Shulk does have a menu, right? And you can do
Yeah,
that while he's falling to his death.
yeah. So it's a question of, I mean, if you can snapcast like we've been talking about,
Mhm.
it may not be optimal, but you can really recover with any of your menu options.
Yeah.
If we're assuming that there's an up B menu, uh, but who knows?
Oh man.
It may just be that Zoom is an extra good recovery that's a menu recovery, and then your up B is absolutely normal. But
I just thought
I
of
don't know.
something that you like when you said an up B menu. Oh god. Imagine what if there's a menu for every direction? That would give you your 16 specials. That would actually
Yeah,
do it. Like not every direction, like
that
left and right, but they'd be your up, down, neutral, and side.
that would be
Because like in the menu,
completely nutty.
yeah, because in the menu that we never saw the Clang, which is like the metal one, right? We never saw anything that was electric. We saw Psych Up, Oomph, Sizzle, and Snooze. None of those are your up B. So how does he change his up B? Please don't let this be the truth. Because if it's that crazy, because he has the up B where he just goes straight up, and then he has the one with the two tornadoes where he does like a corkscrew up B type of move,
Yeah.
right? So those are clearly different, but those were not in the menu. Oh no. Confirmed hardest character in the game. Oh no. I really hope. I don't know. I might have just ruined some people's day. I'm sorry. Or I ruined my own day, really. But
Imagine Shulk's considered the hardest character in the
yeah,
game.
not
Erdrick
anymore.
comes out with four different menus.
And that's the thing is like if that's like there's nothing disproving that yet. There's literally
He ends
nothing
up
disproving that.
he's
So
so potentially good that he ends up transcending the bounds of the video game, and
exactly.
he casts kamikaze in real life. Oh god.
Exactly. That's another thing. At least to me, what is kamikaze like as far as a menu move? Because I thought maybe that would be like the strongest level of sizzle because sizzle is like a word for heat or fire or smoke, right? If something is
Yeah.
sizzling hot, right? So I thought maybe he has his normal like projectile fire, then he has like a super strong, bigger fire where it's like it touches the ground, which is also projectile, and then he has just kamikaze, which is the strongest version of it. But there's potential that that's not even true.
I don't think so, just because in the Dragon Quest games they're a completely different line of spells. I think kamikaze is kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like a suicide warlock punch. It has super
Hmm.
armor or intangibility or something like that. We know that
Yeah,
from the trailer where
nothing
they
stops it.
tried to attack him.
Yeah,
Exactly. But I feel like it's going to be a falcon punch, a warlock punch, just a warlock punch that kills you every time.
and that's the thing is like in the trailer too, it took up so much space because you could let's say be trying to space fair a safe distance away, not even touching him. And if this is just like you activate it and then everything explodes, it also puts you in slow motion. So it's not like, oh, he's doing it, I can run. It's like he's doing it, I'm trapped in the air like witch time.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be really interesting. Depending on the frame data, it's either complete garbage, like your Warlock Punch, or it's probably going to get nerfed, like Chromicide.
Yeah, because that's the thing is I don't know. In the trailer, I missed this in the previous analysis video that I did. Duck Hunt was shielding, and he still died. He didn't get a shield break. He literally exploded off the top.
Really? I didn't
Yes,
notice that.
I didn't notice it
So
until
it
someone pointed it out.
could be like Little Mac KO Punch.
Yeah, it's just unstoppable on all levels, and it's from like far away too. Because since since Duck Hunt was shielding, he wasn't far enough away to like be outside of the blast, but he definitely did not get trapped like in a counter. Because like if you let's say if you hit Shulk with a move and he uses his vision or counter, you can't shield before he hits you, right? It's
Yep.
like it doesn't matter even if you did like a frame one jab and you hit his counter, you can't get your shield up in time. You just take the hit.
Yeah. It seems very interesting, but yeah, it feels like we're getting pretty long in here though. Do you
Well, that's the thing. It's like there's so much to talk about. Like, and when it comes to these podcasts, it's not like it's the thing is it's like it's all theory, right? We're just trying to
Yeah.
figure out as much as we can. And everybody that's listening to this or watching this, there's not much to really see at this point, but anyone who's listening to this, definitely leave your opinions and theories in the comments below. Because there was somebody else that, or a couple people that spoke on this in the last video, that kamikaze, some people were saying, oh, it's going to put 100% damage on you. Some people were saying it's like a stamina death where you die from the move as well. Everybody just dies pretty much. Which is horrible to say, but whatever. It's hard to say. Like, I want to see what everybody else comes up with. What do you guys think of these pictures as well? Like, are you seeing anything that maybe we aren't? I'd love to see what you guys come up with. Also, I guess we can end the video there, but I can lastly say, if you are interested in labbing this character or just theorizing with us, join the Discord. I'll put a link to that in the description as well, along with a link to this website for anyone who wants to take a look at these pictures in real time and scroll along and just look at it on your own. Besides that, I think that's everything. Do you have anything you want to add on the end of that, or?
No, I think that I think we did a pretty good job of covering all of the little speculatory details.
I can agree with that. Unfortunately, had a RIP for X2 Juice. He was in the video, but his his mic was having none of it. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it.
Really do be like that sometimes.
It really do. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the video. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.